Hello, I'm Robert Ditto from the Central Valley Water Board's Irrigated Lands Regulatory Program. This presentation will describe the new drinking water well monitoring requirement, which requires coalition members to sample their on-farm drinking water wells for nitrate. In January of 2022, members will receive an outreach package by mail. The package will include a quick reference guide for members, a drinking water well member information form, a notification template, and an informational trifold. We have updated our website with a new drinking water well monitoring webpage. Information on the drinking water sample requirements, ELAP lavatories, available forms, and frequently asked questions can be found here. So what well do you need to sample? The requirement is to sample your active drinking water well, meaning the well water is used for cooking and drinking. The drinking water well must be located on the parcel that is enrolled with the coalition and part of the Irrigated Lands Regulatory Program. This is not a requirement for your agricultural well. What are the sampling requirements? Members are required to sample their drinking water wells annually. Sample results must be reported as nitrate plus nitrite as nitrogen. Sample testing must be performed by an ELAP laboratory certified for testing nitrate. And up to 5 years of past data can be used, but it needs to follow the new program requirements. This is the drinking water well member information form that you will use for the first year of sampling. You're required to submit this form with your sample to the lab. The laboratories will use this form to create an account in GeoTracker, the state's groundwater database. The form asks for member information, a question to determine if the member or family is the only user, landowner information, and the drinking water well information. If you or your family are the only users, it is important to answer yes on question 1J on the form. This will satisfy the notification requirement if your sample result exceeds the drinking water standard of 10 milligrams per liter nitrate plus nitrite as nitrogen. Here's a list of ELAP laboratories. This information is on our website and will be included in the outreach package you will be receiving in January. There is an exemption from sampling if the drinking water well is not used for human consumption, meaning it is not used for cooking or drinking. The members must keep records, such as photo documentation or bottled water receipts, establishing that the well is not used for drinking water. So based on your sample results, if your result is less than 10 milligrams per liter, you're going to sample again next year. If your result exceeds 10 milligrams per liter of the drinking water standard, there is a notification requirement, but no further sampling is required. This is the notification template used to notify the users of the sample results and the potential health risks associated with drinking the water. You will use this template when results exceed the drinking water standard of 10 milligrams per liter. You are required to immediately notify the users using the notification template and send in a signed copy to the Central Valley Water Board. You can send it via email, take a photo of it with your phone, or send us a hard copy. Remember, if you or your immediate family are the only users, you can fulfill the notification requirements by answering yes on question 1J on the drinking water well member information form and are not required to send in this notification template. Most of our outreach materials have been translated into Spanish, Punjabi, and Hmong. These documents can be found on our webpage or available upon request. When an exceedance is identified in GeoTracker, and Water Board staff have not received a notification from a member, staff will follow up with a notification request. This is usually in the form of an email, a phone call, or a letter. If the member does not respond to the notification request, a notice of violation is sent. So how is your information used? GeoTracker is the state's groundwater database. As I mentioned earlier, ELAP certified laboratories will enter your well data from the Drinking Water Well Member Information Form into GeoTracker. The well information includes an APN, or latitude and longitude, for the location of your well. GeoTracker can display this information in a public map. When you click on a well location, the test result and sample date are displayed. As you can see, none of your personal information is shown. Steps for success. So step 1, you're going to contact an ELAP laboratory, obtain your sample bottles, learn about hold times and sampling procedures. Step 2, you're going to collect the sample using proper sampling procedures between January 1st and December 31st of 2022. There are third-party consultants or some laboratories that can assist with sampling. Step 3, you'll fill out your drinking water well member information form and submit the form to the lab with your water sample and the chain of custody which the laboratory will provide. Step 4, the laboratory will enter your information into GeoTracker, which will create a global ID number for your well. So your well will have an ID number for future sampling events. Step 5, based on results, if your results are less than 10 milligrams per liter, you'll continue to sample annually. If your result exceeds the drinking water standard of 10 milligrams per liter, there is a notification requirement, but no further sampling is required. I'll now go over some frequently asked questions. What if I lease the land and have no control over the well? The member's responsibility is to notify the landowner of their requirements to monitor the well. What if I'm the only user and my sample result exceeds the drinking water standard? If you marked yes on question 1J in the drinking water member information form, that fulfills your notification requirement. What if my well is not used for drinking or cooking? Contact the Central Valley Water Board so we can update our records. No sampling is required. Do I need to sample my well if I'm using a filter? Yes, sample prior to the filter as close to the wellhead as possible. What if I do not have a well? Contact the Central Valley Water Board so we can take you off our outreach list. What well do I sample? The drinking water well must be located on the parcel that is enrolled in the coalition and being used for human consumption. What if I don't sample my active drinking water well? Water Board staff will follow up using our progressive enforcement tools. This usually starts with a phone call, email, or letter, followed by a notice of violation. If still no response, there is a potential for an administrative civil liability or monetary fine to be issued. Do I need to supply replacement water if my sample result exceeds the drinking water standard of 10 milligrams per liter? There is an expectation that you will be providing clean drinking water to the users. How long do I have to sample for? So after 3 years of consecutive samples, if all results are less than 8 milligrams per liter, sampling is reduced to once every 5 years moving forward. If any results are between 8 and 10 milligrams per liter, you'll continue to sample annually until you meet the 3 consecutive years of under 8. Or if at any point your sample result exceeds 10 milligrams per liter, there is a notification requirement, but no further sampling is required. If you still have questions, please contact us. Here's the contact information for the Central Valley Water Board staff in your coalition areas. We also have a general program email and phone number available. Thank you for your time today.